discuss Black History Month and how it has affected us and just, put our thoughts out there about what we have to say.
Yeah, I think it's super important that we take time to really sit in everything that has happened this year, things that we've been through, and just also reflect on things that have happened in the past that have even brought us to accomplish some of the things that we have. So acknowledging the good with the bad, but then just also taking time to celebrate us as Black women and all the people who paved the way for us to be here. So yeah.
Absolutely. Ray, when did you start dancing?
I started dancing at the age of 2. That was 22 years ago. And I started dancing at a studio, and then I joined a dance company with that studio, and I did that for a while, and then still danced, and then I tried it out for high school. So I danced in high school in that studio. Then once I graduated high school in the studio dance, I went to college for 4 years, and I danced there. And now I'm here with the Pels, doing it all over again. Some might say it's too much, and I might even have to agree, but you do what you love.
Absolutely. I started when I was about 2. I think I took my first tap class around that time, and then I realized at that point I didn't really like it, so I stopped for a while. My mom just wanted me to be on the stage for the videos and stuff, but I was just like, I don't want to do it. So then I stopped, and then I started back, I want to say when I was 10 years old, and I found a hip hop class that I really liked, and I was like, oh, well, this is something I can actually get along with, yada, yada. So I started doing that, just only doing hip hop. And then I went to my friend's recital one time, and I saw him doing everything. And I was like, oh no, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to do it all. So then I finally moved to another studio where I did competition when I was 13. And then I just kept training since then. And then I tried out for college my freshman year, and I did make that. So then Pels auditions was right after that, right after auditions for college. And I tried out for that. And then I've been with you guys ever since.
Yay. I think that's a really good point to make, is that people see where you are now and they think oh, every dance team you ever auditioned for, you made. And that's not the case. Everybody had to find their way,
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think we all start
my first time.
Yeah, you start when you're really, really small, but I literally started training hard during drill team in junior high. So that was my first time learning how to even do a pirouette. And so from there, going to competitions, UDA, NDA, American All-Star, I never stopped from there. I did high school, drill team with Neville, and became a Southern University dancing doll. But even then, I did not make it my first time. I literally had to stop and train, and so that's really how I fell in love with dance. And that's when I saw the Honeybees at the time. And they were amazing. Everyone was beautiful. Everyone was so nice. And I was like, yes, this is ultimate goals, dancer goals. So I'm happy to be doing my 4th year with Pelicans. So.
Yay.
Well, I was saying I didn't make it my first year at Pelicans, but I've been dancing. It's something about the number 2. I started dancing when I was 2. And I started in a studio. It was a small studio, not that many students, and it was cool. I don't remember too much from that studio, but doing that and just being able to be around other little girls and just have fun, that's what I looked forward to at that age. I wouldn't say it wasn't until I got into 5th grade, right before middle school, I was in the 4-H club, and we would go to all these conventions, and we saw the middle school that I went to, McKinley Middle. They would perform and win and go ham every year. So I wanted to be a part of that. And so I ended up going to school there. It was a performing arts school. So I went there, studied under Robbie Thomas, and she always encouraged us to go and audition for things around town. So I would do stuff like that, do productions. And yeah, I think in middle school, that's when I kind of was like, ooh, this could be like something I do for real and like make money. And so I kept dancing. I danced in high school, did the dance team. We had basketball and football dance team. And then right after that, I auditioned for Pelicans, didn't make it. So I ended up going to school for a year and decided that wasn't what I wanted to do. And then I auditioned again. And yeah, I made it. And I also started teaching dance full time. So I don't know, you just gotta keep going. Like even if things don't work out the first time, because like I don't know, I was doing Pelicans and teaching like kids, and I'm like, I'm too young. Am I qualified to be doing this? Like what? And so yeah, you just gotta go for things. Like even if you don't know how the outcome will turn out, you just gotta do it. If it's something that you love to do, like it'll work out. So
It's a really good point, just because I mean, I knew growing up, like in my studios and stuff, there's maybe one or two Black kids there, and like we'd be the ones in the oldest class and maybe like one baby, but it wasn't something that you saw all the time. So I had to take it upon myself to be like, well, I want to keep going for myself. Like I want to do this because I want to see somebody like me dance professionally or be on these type of teams and stuff like that. So I think it was just like an internal thing, just saying like, I want to keep going for myself and other girls just watching for me as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of been my experience with dance. I also started at 2 years old, but I didn't jump into dance first. I actually started out in gymnastics as 2 years old, and I would say up until I was about 7 is when my gymnastics coach was like, we need you to get better on your floor routines and get more graceful. So they made me start taking dance in addition to gymnastics. And so it started off as just like, one of them little cute classes where you just do a little tip tap here. And I don't know. I think it was on the day of the recital when like that adrenaline rush of just being in front of all of your family and friends, and you're next to other girls all cute and dressed up. And it was at that moment for me, I was like, okay, I like gymnastics, but I also like dance too. So I'm gonna like in a little bit more, and then I started more dance classes, and gymnastics started kind of getting like the second hand, and it just kind of progressed from there. Started doing a lot of studio dancing, even while I was studio dancing through middle school and high school. I also did it inside of my school, so I had the best of both worlds, where I had school dance technique, and I also learned like the actual studio style as well. Went on to college, and that was an experience in itself, because up until this point, the only time I would say I've never really danced for a 100% all Black studio until I was in high school. All the way through, like in high school, in school dances and all of those things, I was always the only Black girl. So I agree with a lot of you when you say like another reason why you want to keep doing it, because it's like I want to see more of me around, and I don't want to just see myself in hip hop dances. That was the other struggle, was like, oh, you're so good at hip hop, and it's like I'm good at other things too, and I want to explore those. Like I love hip hop, don't get me wrong, it's never gonna change, but I want to explore those other things, those other areas and genres of dance that you didn't see us in, or at least we didn't know about because they didn't teach it to us in those predominantly other race studios. So it came up until it was time to, make that decision to say, okay, what do I want to do with my life? I'm going to college. What do I want to major in? It was dance. Got the most stale looks and responses when I would tell people. Well, they all give you that question. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to go to school for? I would say dance, and it would just be like,
just let me dance. I'm going to figure it out later.
Okay.
About it.
It was the best decision I ever made. Like, for once, I did something that, I took a chance on it. And ironically, I went to University of Alabama, which is predominantly white school. Let's just be real. But the cool thing was that the director of the dance program was a Black man who also was a company dancer for Alba Baby. So like it was awesome to be able to be that close to something so authentic, and really was basically like a pioneer of Black dance to begin with. That's been the journey for me.
Literally.
It's so crazy that you were talking about like how people look at you crazy, like dance, like what? When I tell you I did not have permission to try out for dance in college, my mom was like, "No, you're not doing it," and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna apologize later because it's in my heart." So like, it's like really crazy the things that you have to battle, like stereotypes from other people because they just don't understand.
Yeah,
They don't understand like how liberating it is and like how freeing it is and how it's like a part of who you are. It's like a language that you just may not understand. And I always say like singers don't age out, painters don't age out, you know. Why do dancers have to age out again? You know?
Exactly.
So it's really cool to be able to share that like passion and understanding like with you guys, and like it just adds to the sisterhood that's already there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you have to be, because I mean, like you said, you're taking a risk, so it's like you have to be passionate about it. Like anything can happen. Like our body is our instrument, you know. So you only get one, and you have to be willing to dedicate those extra hours. Like it looks all glamorous on the outside, but we be going through some stuff. Like bodies be hurt and just all kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, you never know where people are mentally, and people outside of dance, you know, like a lot of artists have multiple jobs and a lot of things going on. So it's also just trying to find that balance and like just continue to, I don't know, like be able to put out that creative, I don't know, be able to dance and just free yourself, you know, when you can, and not get caught up in like the everyday things, because it's easy to get swept away, but you got to be, you know, you got to be dedicated to it all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like when you finally did see a Black dancer, who was it that was like, dang, like that's it, that's that new motivation to keep you going? Because at some point we relied on ourselves, right? We all come from a similar background where you're either the only Black girl or there's very few of you. So at some point through the evolution of Black dance, we became more popular. So like when you started seeing those in highlighted, who was it for you? For me, it was Misty. I think it was because like I'll say it like this: I never saw myself as a ballerina, but when I saw Misty, I was like, all right. And then she wasn't like a typical Black girl. Like she had some thighs on her. She had curves, and then she was dancing for Prince. Like who wouldn't want to be her, right? So Misty was one. If I can go back in history, I would say Katherine Dunham. I just love her style. She was also an activist in the industry. It wasn't just being a choreographer and creating this whole dance company, but it was also what she was doing in the community. So that was it for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of that, Kai. I too agree with Misty, because like same thing. You see a lot of Black dancers. You don't see a lot of Black ballerinas. And when I started seeing her and she started getting like the spotlight that she deserved, that's when it started like uncovering like a whole new world. Like I knew ballet was like a form of dance. Everybody knows that. It's like the first dance that you learn. However, I did not know how many Black dancers were in ballet. And that just was fascinating to me. I was like, there's so much I can do. And I hate ballet, but like it made me actually like appreciate the genre of dance, because I was just like, you know, I thought I hated it because I just couldn't not understand it, but I wasn't good enough for it. Like my focus wasn't there, and I went to a predominantly white dance studio, so like a little discouraging along the way. But then once I saw that she was able to do it, and all these other folks were doing it, it just made it more realistic and mind driven, I guess I can say, to try harder in the class. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have like seen this or run across this, but there's like this whole campaign about brown girls do ballet.
Yeah.
And every time I see the infomercial, I'm like, can I go back? Like, can I become 5 again? Can I just start over? I really, really, really like, it's so inspiring. I don't know. And I just cannot wait till I have my little girl like watching it and doing it and like understanding that you're not the eyeball out. Like, your body looks different, but it doesn't mean that you can't get it to do what you want it to do, you know? And when y'all talk about Misty Copeland, that's like the first thing I just thought about.
It's so crazy because I remember when like I was younger, I was chunky. Like I was a chunky kid, like all throughout, like the body proportions wasn't good. So just like I automatically told myself like, this is just something I won't be able to do. I never had somebody to come to me and be like, hey, like this is something that you actually can do. But it's just like, I didn't see anybody that looked like me doing it. So I just kind of automatically assumed like, oh no, like I don't think I'll be able to. But it's like as I grew older and I kept seeing these figures like Misty Copeland, like I'm seeing her doing it, and then I see Debbie Allen's studio and like all of these girls are trained in ballet. I wish I would have saw it like when I was a younger like girl, because I feel like I would have put more effort into it and actually tried to become I guess better in ballet.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I didn't start training in point until like I was a senior in high school. Like that's late for a dancer, you know? Like, I mean, you can always try new stuff and like, but it's different. Your body changes and I mean, your focus, you got other things going on. So I feel like I can agree with that. I didn't see a lot of brown girls dancing or not dancing, but doing ballet, dancing ballet. And I don't know. It just, I guess for a long time, it took me a while to finally be like, okay, this is something I could do. Let me actually try instead of just looking, you know, watching from behind the scenes. So yes, we definitely need to keep training. Brown girls keep doing ballet.
Beyond dance, it goes into the clothing that's available. Everything was in pink. Like, who wears pink tights? I'm not pink. Like, I need that. So, like, even the way our clothes fit, the size of our bodies, the way we're shaped. I remember going in dance in ballet, and that was the first thing for me going into dance, like everything else. But like as you get older, like middle school, high school, we start to curve out in areas we don't know what's going on. So I remember this day like it was yesterday. Like my ballet teacher basically so he noticed that I was fat because I'm sitting here in first position, holding my chest up, you know, everything's core, tight, everything. But my butt's sticking out. So in his eyes, it looks like I'm arching my back, my form is bad. But it's not. It's just the way my body is. So it goes like into the fashion and what we wear for shows and for class, our shoes, like finally going to an all black studio.
There's always like a certain group of people like that knew how to do tap.
Has
and like they would be showcased like when it came time, it's like, all right, it's time to do tap in the recital or something like that, and then it's me winging it in the back.
They started making us put makeup on our shoes because they wouldn't allow us to wear pink shoes, and that was new to me. But it was just gave me that much more assurance to know that okay, it's totally normal. That was like her eyeballs, totally normal to want, you know,
my younger ages,
have more brown and blackness involved.
Like
it's okay to borrow from these
but like as far as understanding like the
styles,
cadence
but we gotta make it our own.
Shuffling and like.
Oh, I was gonna
the whole process of
Debbie Allen.
I
was just gonna speak a little bit on.
I was too young to understand it and appreciate it. So when I got older and I was
Debbie
able to
Allen,
recognize beats and
for
songs
me, and that was around that time when I was like in middle school, going and auditioning for different things. For me, she kind of put me on to dance as like an industry, like it just being this whole market, like you being able to go and just be on tour. And she would invite all these different choreographers some from LA. I think you said something about, did you say Karen McDonald? Somebody said Karen McDonald?
I believe.
I don't know, maybe not. But she had Karen McDonald. She had people like Latrina Washington,
they like
who
somehow
else?
figured
Terry
out like
Beeman,
the way to use
Kathleen
tap as a way to
Nicholas,
like make
her
sounds and have their
grandfathers,
own
and
instrument.
her family's the
So
Nicholas
it's
brothers,
in you,
Chantel
it's
Heath,
in your
just so many
ancestral
people, so
bloodline
many different
history.
styles. We would
I didn't
do
know that, and then once you
Bollywood,
finally
and
find
we would
that
do
one person,
African, and we
like
would
you can
just do
take the time
everything.
and
And
Yes.
things that I
those
didn't know that I
differences
could
that
do
you just
before
can't
until
really
she
make sense
introduced
of.
it to me.
It does flow.
And
It's
from
fun. I
there,
wish
I
I would have
kind
stayed
of
tuned
like,
to it,
it
but
opened
once
my
you,
eyes to this
there's
whole
like
new
this
world. I'm
all
like,
black tap
wow,
group now. The female, I think
what have I
Beyonce
been
released
missing
her.
out
She
on?
got
Like,
famous
I
at
could
one
really
point for
go and
doing like
be
the
on
single
tour
ladies
somewhere
tap
in
or
another
making like
country,
a
you know, doing a
feature.
different style of dance
Y'all
if
remember
I
that?
wanted to.
I know what you're talking
And
about.
I
Think of
just,
her name, but
I
she
didn't
was
know that before.
like,
So I'm so
It's like
appreciative
something with C.
um
yeah,
to Miss
but like
Allen. She would
seeing
come,
that,
she would
like,
come to Baton
so
Rouge and do these
in the
residencies.
past, it's just
So it was
amazing
an
how things have
intensive. You would
changed. Like,
have,
they're like, we
I
all
mean, you would
come from the
audition
same
and
things that we
put on the
wanted
show
to aspire
within
to,
maybe
and the
2 months.
very things that we felt like
And
we
you
weren't
have this
good
big
at.
cast, you have to
Now we're seeing
audition,
it
and
much
it would
more
be sometimes up to
exposed
like
and
18, like 20
available
numbers in the show.
And
Like,
our,
it's a
you know,
whole
the younger
production.
girls that are
And
in
so,
dance and stuff now, and they don't
yeah,
have
it really pushed
to
me, and she really
wonder
opened my
like,
eyes
is this
to
something that we
a
do? Is this
a
something
lot of
that's
different
available to me?
styles.
Like,
I didn't
the
know
world is
dance could
literally
take
available
you
to
to
you.
places that some of these choreographers had been
even
at the
like
time. So
aside from just
I'm
like kids
very, very
who
thankful for that
like to
experience.
dance,
So
like think
crazy,
about
Ruth. If you walk
did you
down
guys get
Bourbon
to watch
Street, the hot chocolate
though I am
maker,
biased about like
Hmm.
she's doing the
the
same thing
service
right now.
part
I
of
was
it,
like, oh my goodness. Like kids
Hmm.
are
It's
teaching
so
themselves
I
crazy.
mean,
how
oh
to
my
tap.
goodness.
And some of those
And they're
dances I
being
know,
like
I'm like,
super
ooh,
resourceful
ooh.
about becoming artists.
No, I
And
love
these
it.
things.
Speaking on Miss
Like,
Allen
I'm like,
and
you're
ballet, since
tapping?
we were
Who
on the
taught you that?
topic, I remember
Me.
I was in
Look,
kindergarten,
so
first grade,
all
something
the
like
black
that.
boy
My
go,
favorite book of
like,
all time was Dancing in the
It
Wings.
will
Like, I would
work.
read it all the
yes.
time. It was about a little black
I'm always
ballerina, and I
so
was like,
amazed when
oh
I'm
my
like
gosh, she
walking and I
looks like
see
me. So for my
kids
kindergarten
tapping
graduation, they were
on
like, what do you want to be
concrete,
when
and
you
I'm
grow
just
up?
and I see
I
that they're in
came in my
tennis
little ballet
shoes,
Yeah.
shoes and my little
and the
tutu, and I
balloons
said,
will
I
be
want
on
to
the
be a
bottom of their
ballerina.
shoe.
Just because of that book, I read it
Realistically,
every
at that
single
age,
day.
I
Like,
would not
they
have
asked
been
me
able
what
to
my
do
favorite
that.
book
I would have,
was. Every time we
like
got
the
a break, like
resources,
that's the
the
book that I would have in
mental,
my hand. It was
the
just like really
cognitive thought that I
inspiring
would
for
have, I
me. And
would
then
not
like
have been
when I
able to
looked
do
her
that.
up and I saw the
Mhm.
things that she
I
was
was
doing,
always
and I
so
was like, wow,
fascinated.
like
I'm like,
it is
geez,
possible
like
for me to do something
talent,
like this.
that is
Like I
talent.
want
And
to
I
be able to
know
dance. Like
Natural.
I want to
I
do
had that
shows. I want
drive
to
at
be a
that
part of the
age, and I hope
industry.
that they
Like this
keep
is
that
something that
drive
I
as they
do want to
like
do,
progress
and it's
through
because of her.
their
Like
life, because
I kind of
that's
got
who
to do
took you
it
somewhere.
by being on the Exactly. Pelicans dance team. right now, like in the industry, what figure or person is standing out to you the most?
If you say dance industry, like one person I'm super proud of right now is Sean Bankhead. And like, I remember being on Southern's campus and working under Jonas Vanderbilt, who is like a legend on campus, and knowing that somebody from Atlanta was coming who was a really big deal. And I'm just like this little girl from Monroe who's just on drill team, little pom-pom kick squad. And just like thinking about how people were so excited to like take classes from him. And I had no idea who he was. And so now to see that he's like used to be on Southern's campus and is now working with Missy Elliott and Cardi B and Beyonce and like is the leader of the whole if it's up challenge, like that's going viral. It's like, man, I know people who knew him, you know, like if he could do it,
right,
I could totally do that. Like it's becoming a reality, you know what I mean? And it's just so good to see how people start and are super humble and give back and are still like killing it, you know? Like I can't even do the challenge. Like I was like, ooh, it's down.
We don't get this.
But that's one person that like really sticks out to me right now.
It's funny that you mentioned him because I remember watching all his videos on Instagram and YouTube and just being like, wow, like I would love to go take one of his classes. And I figured he was coming to Baton Rouge one time. And that's when I was still in Biloxi. I told my mom, I said, we got to get in the car right now. Like, I know it's today. I know it's at 6:00, but we got to go. Like, we got to get in the car. And it's just like, it was so fun and refreshing, like being able to learn his style, be in his presence, be able to know like what he does. Exactly. And have fun at it as well. We did that. And then I remember me and my mom used to take trips to Atlanta all the time. Like when he like hosts workshops and stuff, it was just like, I want to go. Like that's somebody I want to be around. Like that's somebody that I want to dance with and dance like. And it was fun and amazing just to like meet him and I guess be in the room with a whole bunch of other people that have the same mindset and work ethic like he does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also think outside of dance, like two people, really three, that really inspired me over the last few years just to see like their journey in the entertainment industry. People like Issa Rae or like Shonda Rhimes or Ava DuVernay, like just those are literally all my favorite shows, all my favorite people. And it just brings me back to the Drake song where he like highlighted all these women who really had been killing it. And it was just so necessary, if not then, especially now, just to see all the things that they're doing and what they stand for and their work ethic, you know? And not only just the work ethic, it's just how unapologetic they are about who they are, you know? And it's just being valued, you know? I remember Essence Festival. This is me like every day getting dressed like I'm gonna run in the East of the day. Homegirl gonna be out there. I'm talking up. So.
Like it's so many young Black artists and dancers. Like not even just dancers, but like as far as like producing things and directing things and being behind the scenes, and just I love to see it. It's just it's a lot. It's a lot of Blackness going on right now.
A lot of Black excellence going around. Yeah, we love to see it.
Yeah, I'm here for it all. I can't pick a favorite, to be honest.
We can start with Kamala. Oh, excuse me, Madam Vice President.
Madam Vice President.
I'll say this. I'll say one cool thing, whether you're a choreographer, a dancer, a singer, whatever it is in the entertainment world, I am here for the awakening that has progressed over, I'd say, the past 5 years, a little bit longer, maybe more importantly, in this past 2 or 3 years. You see a lot of Black artists who have reached the top and are using their voice to bring light to who we are and what we have to offer and what we have offered to dance music. We all know Beyonce. Come on, like the queen of taking her Black knowledge, her Black history, and dishing it out and doing it in an educational yet fun and presentable way. Like that. And sometimes she has those hard discussions. Sometimes they're soft and fun, but she gives you that excellence that any person would want to strive for, especially in the entertainment business. Like Chauncey mentioned, Issa Rae. You have Key and Peele. Like they're doing these great movies, and then Missy Elliott. Let's be real, Missy Elliott. Like she always made sure she had dancers for one. Always had dancers. So like dancers was always booked and busy during that era where like if you didn't have dancers in your music video was pop. Like, and now it's to the point where you have other artists, like you have Megan Thee Stallion, you have Cardi B, you have all of these great Black women for one, more importantly women, bringing that back, getting dancers back in the industry, but getting them in a way that highlights multiple styles that we have been exposed to or learned. Like it's not just hip hop, it's contemporary. You see people, I want to say Summer Walker, she used like a contemporary dancer in one of her concerts, and it was so
Tiana Taylor has a really dope
Tiana Taylor, yeah.
That music video. I can't think of the name of the song, but I know the video.
yeah. Elton John, I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, like it's just cool to see how we're just tapping back into us and setting that new excellent standard.
Like just as a team and as like sisters on this team have found a way to also be, unapologetic, to like also arrive at the idea of like the girls who are coming behind us, who look like us, should not have to experience the same hurdles that we had to experience because we were a little bit apologetic, just because we knew what differences had to be made in order to be a part of certain organizations. So kudos to y'all too,
And it takes for us to keep supporting each other, for Black people to keep rising up and being put in these positions of powers where they can have creative freedom to be able to express themselves and say whatever. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's about, who signed the checks, who got the money, and that determines a lot of what you see. So yeah, it takes for us to keep supporting each other, to keep lifting each other up to that next level, so that we can keep putting more Black people, more brown women on. And yeah.
I will say that my experience from this team so far, the thing that I appreciated the most was the amount of us. Like, I know there's only 5 of us on the team right now, but it's just saying I've never been on a team when there's maybe more than 1 or 2. It's always been 1 or 2. And it's just like, I don't know. It's always just like a select few. Like it was new to me. It was a fresh and appreciative feeling to have, seeing like, wow, all of these girls are on the same team as me now. Like I have somebody that I can go to and discuss things that honestly, like I can't discuss like with the rest of my teammates because they don't understand like what we go through at the end of the day. So thank y'all for being amazing and great and making my time on this team so lovely.
Retweet. Yeah, I remember like counting, like my first year counting how many Black girls were on a team and being so like in shock, like, wait, hold up. I'm on a team with this many, and it's not even that many, but it's still a lot of my previous years on being on teams. It was just such a boost and a motivating factor to everything. So yeah, y'all are awesome.
We on the up and up, ladies.
Up and up. Yeah, no, this team, I say this, the last 2 years, I don't know. It's like the sisterhood has just been great. Not that it wasn't before, but I just feel like this group has really been able to connect like on a different level. And I think that again goes back to just being able to appreciate your Blackness and be unapologetic and not feel like you have to kind of tiptoe and like portray just one part of yourself. You know, we've been able to support each other and give each other that confidence to be able to just be ourselves. And that's really what's important. When we're being ourselves, that's when we're our best. So
yeah, and respect. Yes. And I also think like it honestly, Rianne, it started with you and Crystal and Christian, because like y'all are the super vets, but like y'all really set the tone for like what does it mean to be a sister? Like what does it mean to be a BG? Like what is that standard? And like how do you keep that standard to what it is in your interactions with each other? And I think it just like continues to trickle down, you know. I wouldn't trade y'all.
Absolutely. I know one thing, I've never had like a sisterhood like this before, so it was really good for me to figure out that like I have all these sisters that I can now go to whenever I need anything, even outside of the dance team. Like I feel like we're always going to be close. So
Dance Team fans, I'm PDT alumni Crystal. I danced on the team from 2014 to 2020, and those were the best years of my dance career. As we conclude Black History Month, you know, I want to talk about my proudest moment on the team, but I also have some of my former teammates talking about their proudest moments in their dance career or just on the team in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. I want to talk about my proudest moment when I had a chance to go to China and represent the organization. I have two reasons why this is my proudest moment. One was because I'm not a fan of flying, but guess what? I got on that 14-hour flight to China, and it was one of the best choices and the best experiences I've ever had. You know, I had a chance to leave from America and immerse myself into a different culture in China. And it was just cool that I had an opportunity to dance internationally. And guess what? I got a chance to dance with my teammates as well. So that also was a, great experience. So that would definitely have to be my proudest moment. I have a lot, but my proudest moment was definitely going to China and getting on that 14-hour flight. But yeah, that was absolutely amazing and just so blessed that I had the opportunity.
Hey, PDT dancing fans. I am PDT alumni Tremera, and I danced from 2011 to 2017. And my proudest dance moment during that time would be being a captain and chosen for the 2016 NBA All-Star Dance Team in Toronto. Being able to represent our team, our city, and our organization, along with 31 other women, was at the top of my career. But the cherry on top was getting to meet Drake and being able to dance behind him during the opening ceremony of the NBA All-Star Game.
Hi, PDT Dance Team fans. I'm PDT alumni Margot. I danced from year 2014 until 2016, and my proudest dance moment was driving past the Smoothie King Center and seeing my picture on the big screen. I was so proud to represent for New Orleans then, and now NOLA is forever in my heart.
Hi, PDT fans. It's PDT alumni Chrissy checking in, and I danced on the dance team from 2016 up until 2018. I want to say my proudest moment on the dance team was actually making it. That entire process builds you into a different person, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And the person that I am now, I am so thankful for my leaders and my director for pushing me that far and helping me and grooming me into that woman, knowing that I'm capable of anything now. I can push myself to the limit. So I want to say thank you to my amazing leaders and thank you to my amazing director and the organization. I am proud of the woman that I have become because of the team. So thank you.
Hey fans, it's PDT alumni Prentice. I danced on the team from 2015 to 2016. I had the pleasure of being led by two very beautiful brown-skinned girls. And so that was just so empowering as a Black woman to be led by other Black women as the face of such a major component of a NBA organization. I mean, it makes my heart smile every time I think about it.
Hi, PDT Dance Team fans. I am PDT alumni Dominique, and I danced from 2013 to 2016. And my proudest moment, hands down, was when I first auditioned. And coming from college where I danced with the HBCU style, I had to really put my pants on and focus and train and get ready because I knew I wanted to be on the team. And so that hard work and perseverance really led me to become one of the first to be on the New Orleans Pelicans dance team back in 2013.